Hindi ko talaga maintindihan kung ano ba talagang connect ng art appreciation sa course kong nursing. Ang dami-dami ko pang dapat mas pagtuunan ng pansin. Mali ko ba sa mga paintings na yan?
The Renaissance was a period of profound change in art, focusing on humanism, beauty, and the natural world. Artists explored the human form, emotion, and intellect, creating works that emphasized balance, perspective, and realism. This era redefined how we view ourselves and the world, merging the divine with the earthly and intellect with emotion.
This painting was painted by Fra Angelico, who was a Dominican friar and Italian Renaissance painter of the early Renaissance, who was also known as the Angelic Painter. Based on our group's research about the painting, it represents the moment na binisita ni Archangel Gabriel si Mary to deliver God's message. Sinabi ni Gabriel na Mary was chosen to become the mother of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And upon observing the painting, we saw that there are rays of sunlight that looks like indicating the opening of heaven, and si Gabriel naman symbolizes the bridge between heaven and the earth. It's not just about a moment in the Bible, it's about what it represents: hope, faith, and divine love. It's a reminder that even in the most unexpected moments, we can find grace and purpose. It also looks like that the colors of the painting has a meaning. Blue symbolizes kabanalan, and white symbolizes the presence of God.
What about the birth of Venus?
The painting Birth of Venus is created by Sandro Botticelli. This painting was commissioned by Lorenzo de Medici, a cousin of Lorenzo the Magnificent. The theme was suggested by the humanist Poliziano. It depicts Venus born from the seashell, and someone was waiting for her at the shore with a flowered blanket. If you observe the painting, Venus was covering her private parts using her hand and hair. Though he was influenced by Polliolo's naturalistic renditions of the human body and understanding of anatomy, he held back from the true naturalism through depicting a woman covering some of her sensitive parts, but still serving the overall idea, which is the birth of Venus. The painting itself is also soothing to look at because of its flowy vibes and smooth strokes.
The Lamentation? Ano kaya ibig sabihin nito?
The Lamentation. Let's step in the world of medieval art with The Lamentation, a deeply emotional masterpiece by Giotto de Bandon. He is known as the father of Renaissance because he broke away from the rigid stylized form of medieval art and introduced a more naturalistic approach that laid the foundation for Renaissance's revolution. He was born in Tuscany around 1267, went from being a shepherd to one of the most important artists in history. The Lamentation, aka The Mourning of Christ, brings an emotional punch to medieval art, capturing the grief of his mother and disciples. In the painting, his head is held by Mary, his mother, and his feet by Mary Magdalene. We can also see that John the Apostle throws his arm wide in despair, and to the right, Nicodemus and Joseph waits to prepare the body to be laid in a tomb. Giotto's The Lamentation beautifully captures human emotion. The sorrow on each face feels real, especially for a time when most art was stiff and symbolic. His composition leads your eye to Christ's body, surrounded by grieving figures, creating strong emotional impact. His use of space and color makes the scene intimate, allowing the viewers to feel sadness.
The School of Athens? Bakit siya tinawag na The School of Athens? Pwede hindi naman siya mga school.
The painting School of Athens is a masterpiece that visually represents an intellectual concept, philosophy, science, and art. Raffaello Sanciano created this masterpiece, sometimes known as Raphael. He was an architect and painter from Italy. So Raphael was commissioned by Pope Julius II to paint his palatial suite, which is the Stanza della Sinatra. The painting is filled with men debating and sharing their knowledge. So basically, the School of Athens is not based on the real school history, but it is a scene Raphael created by his imagination of a utopian community where great scholars gather to share their ideas and learn from one another. So the painting is composed of many philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Pythagoras, and Heraclitus. Also, there is Diogenes, Euclid, Zoroaster, and Ptolemy. Well, there was a man wearing a black beret which resembles Raphael himself. This painting displays the importance of relationship between the figures of painting through the use of linear perspective of choice, subject, and tone. Raphael creates a welcoming scene that inspires thought and discovery. Raphael's own figure types have delicate, round faces that conveys human emotions elevated to a supreme calm.
I wonder, what's the story behind this painting? Mona Lisa? This girl in this painting? Ano kayong meron?
Let's talk about the Mona Lisa's famous smile. Maraming tao nagtatanong kung bakit ang expression niya ay parang mysterious. Minsan parang nakangiti, minsan naman ay parang hindi. The reason behind this is Da Vinci's use of a technique called sfumato, which blurs the line between light and shadow. Dahil dito, parang ang nag-iibang expression niya depending on the angle you look at. Another curious detail, bakit walang kilay si Mona Lisa? Some say maybe Da Vinci wanted to add mystery to her expression, or baka naluma na lang ang painting dahil sa panahon. Ang ibang theorists naman, medyo wild. Sinasabing si Mona Lisa daw ay bading version ni Da Vinci or possibly his child. And here's something surprising. Maliit lang talaga ang Mona Lisa. It's only 30 by 21 inches. Kaya medyo nakakashock para sa mga pumupunta sa Louvre expecting it to be larger. We all know about Michelangelo and his legendary works like the Towering David and the awe-inspiring ceiling of Sistine Chapel. But let's talk about his artwork, Madonna della Pietà, aka the Pietà. Michelangelo sculpted the Pietà in 1498 to 1499. He was a young, ambitious artist in his early 20s. The Pietà was commissioned by a French cardinal for his funeral monument, and it was meant to showcase both religious devotion and artistic grandeur. The Pietà by Michelangelo is a masterpiece that combines beauty and sorrow in one breathtaking sculpture. It shows the heart-wrenching moment of Mary cradling the lifeless body of Christ after crucifixion. But here's the interesting part. Mary looks calm and young, which is very different from the sadness of the scene. This balance of peace and sorrow, along with the amazing detail, makes the Pietà one of the famous and emotional work of art ever.
Ano kayong ibig sabihin ng paintings ito? Two people almost touching the earth.
The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo de Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni is one of the world's most famous frescoes, adorning the ceiling of the Vatican City Chapel in Rome. He created this masterpiece between 1508 and 1512. The painting has remained an attraction for tourists who travel from all over to admire it. This is according to the biblical story in Genesis, which describes the scene as, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female he created them." Aesthetically looking at his work, the focal point is the first humans almost touching fingers with his creator. Adam's touching fingers, which represent the breath of life, are transmitted, giving life to the rest of mankind, and God as a human creator. God, supported by 12 figures resembling angels in flight and wrapped in a mantle, leans towards Adam, depicted as a resting athlete, whose beauty appears to confirm the words of the Old Testament, which state that man was created in the image of God.
How about David? Di ba creation din siya ni Michelangelo?
Yes, David was also made by Michelangelo. Michelangelo's David is not just a masterpiece of Renaissance art. It's a symbol of human potential both in its physical perfection and its emotional depth. Carved from a single block of marble, David stands as a testament to the power of human creativity and resilience. What strikes me most is how Michelangelo captured the moment of tense anticipation before a battle. The furrowed brow, the poised body, all reflecting inner strength and vulnerability.
Where am I? Nasaan ako? Ano lugar to? Wow, this is such a good self-portrait. What's the meaning of this?
Self-portrait, a Renaissance icon. This piece is more than just an image of the artist. It's a declaration of his status, his talent, and his beliefs. This painting was painted by Albrecht Dürer, who was a best-known German painter, printmaker, and theorist of the German Renaissance. Dürer revolutionized printmaking by treating it as an art form on par with painting. What stands out for me is how Dürer has painted himself front-facing, staring directly at the viewer. And the interesting part kasi is he was posing the same thing with Jesus Christ, so naging kamukha niya rin tuloy. Also, some of the interesting facts about this painting is that this painting ay itinuturing na isa sa pinakamagagandang self-portrait na ginawa sa kasaysayan ng sining dahil sa pagpapakita nito ng malalim na detalye at realistic na pagpinta.
I wonder what's with the women and the men. I feel like it's marriage.
The Arnolfini portrait by Johann van Eyck is a masterpiece of Northern Renaissance, famous for its stunning detail and rich symbolism. Painted in 1434, it depicts Giovanni di Niccolao di Arnolfini, a wealthy Italian merchant, and his wife standing in a room full of objects, each with a deeper meaning. Isa sa pinaka-impressive na bagay tungkol dito ay kung paano ginamit ni Van Eyck ang oil paint para ma-achieve ang halos photographic realism. Mula sa texture ng mga tela hanggang sa kinang ng chandelier at reflection sa salamin. Lahat ay sobrang lifelike, parang pwede kang pumasok sa eksena kasama nila. Pero for me, the real charm lies in the small details that continue to spark debates. The mirror in the background shows the reflection of two other figures. One of them is said to be Van Eyck himself, subtly inserting his presence into the painting. Then there's the gesture between the couple. Are they getting married? Or are they already married? And Van Eyck is simply documenting their life together. Punong-puno din ito ng symbolism. Ang aso sa kanilang paanan ay simbolo ng loyalty at fidelity, habang yung isang kandilang nakasindi sa chandelier ay maaaring kumatawan sa presensya ng Diyos bilang saksi sa eksena. Lahat ng bagay sa painting na ito ay may sariling kwento, kaya sobrang interesting aralin. For me, the Arnolfini portrait isn't just a painting. It's a snapshot of life full of hidden meanings, and that keeps us curious. It shows how art can be bought, a reflection of reality, an entryway into deeper mysteries. All thanks to Van Eyck's incredible work.
Guys, saan tayo? Library. Ha? Di ba na seryosan sila tayo? Ha? Pinagsasabi niya. Ano ba daw? Sabihin niya sa'yo. May sila ka ba? Madaming paintings. Oh, different artists. Nasa ibang mundo tayo. Mamaya art at talaga kami. Madaming paintings. Hindi ka kasi natutulog, girl. Baka ka, girl. Nagsasabi ako ng totoo. Buang ka talaga. Alam, binalig sa mundo. Na sinasabi sa akin na i-appreciate mo ng art. And their paintings has their own stories. And their stories is something that we should appreciate. Kasi doon natin makikita yung pag-asbang ng mundo. Guys, wala mo talaga tayo doon? Kaya nasa library tayo. Tulungan ka talaga. Parang kanina lang nagre-reklamo ko sa art day. Pero, ano wala sa ba? 10-7 na pala. Mag-appreciation na natin.